regret having very little to meet much, So you got to set up a home, you got to run a family, you got to have medical covered, you got to have your travel, you got to have, you can't live without these things. To be a happy person, you must have sufficient money, and you must be able to manage this money and be able to expend this money, all right, without having to worry. So what is your long-term goal? I need to have my nest egg when I'm old. I don't want to live off my children, right? That's not right. They got their life to live and they've got the expenses, and we shouldn't be encroaching into children's budget. So we should be having our own nest egg. So the young people should start saving systematically and investing carefully and managing risks, expecting some losses as they go along. The journey of investing will provide opportunities, like losses and good opportunities to gain. Now the markets are volatile, yes. All right. So one would ask, how long do you stay invested? How consistently must I review my investment? You must review your investments because sometimes you may have to move your investments around.
Yes.
Right?
But when you watch the financial channels or you read the newspapers, it sounds like you should be moving money in and out of the markets all the time.
Well, if you're only in the stock market, you could be in bonds, you could be in property, you could be in bonds, you could be in gold, you could be in various other, commodities. But if you're only in the stock market, yes, you will have a very busy time. And let me tell you, you will have sleepless nights, the way things are going at the moment. Nobody is very sure about what's going to happen. None of the pundits can, for sure, economic pundits or financial pundits can tell you this is for sure going to happen. They can only tell you we are moving towards a recession.
But they all think they can tell you. As
Yes.
John Edwards, the chief economist at HSBC, once famously said, economists are seldom right, but never uncertain.
Absolutely.
But
Yes.
Mr. Gerald, you don't strike me as somebody who's a bit of a spendthrift. I have trouble imagining you as in your sports coat hopping into a fast car.
Well, I had up to my 40s. I was only interested in buying cars every 3 years. I had sport cars, I had saloon cars. I had spent a lot of money on entertainment.
But these things gave you joy. Wasn't it worthwhile?
Oh yes, it is. But when you start marrying and having 3 boys and having to see them through studies, Singapore, we are very lucky. Opportunities are given, but we have. I'm saying lucky because we have opportunities to earn, and in my case, I'm still working. I'm 67. Would I be happy not working now? I'm one of those who must be working, right? What about those who physically not able to, continue working? You get all sorts of illnesses as you grow old, high blood pressure, diabetes. The good Lord has been very good to me. But the point is, we must not depend on us, on luck. We must depend on systematic planning, and that is saving, investing, and protecting your wealth with insurance policies. And passing it on to your family if you have anything left.
And God doesn't take care of these things automatically?
Well, God does take care of these things if you ask Him and if you're a good man.
So how do you overcome that emotional temptation? What the heck? I'm 22, I'm 23. What do I care about when I'm 60 or 70 or 80?
Very often that is what I get. We got a long time to go and we don't have to worry about these things. But ask yourself, how long does it really take? Sometimes you are fortunate, God is good to you, you live very long, and you have everything there for you happening, but sometimes it doesn't happen that way. So if you are thinking about, if you want to be a bachelor or a spinster and you're not really going to have liabilities, not going to have too much of bag to carry, it's okay, it's all right, to some extent you can manage. But if you are thinking of starting a family and which means children, and then providing for all in the family. You can't just depend on CPF and a few handouts here and there, but you need to have your own wealth building exercise. You need to have money stacked away, that as CPI and cost of living keeps going. I used to have a cup of coffee for 40 cents 30
40 cents?
Yes, those days.
I don't think
70.
Starbucks has ever offered coffee for 40 cents.
I mean, young people now, they have to spend at least $3, $4 or $5 on these things. So
$6 or $7, Mr.
There you
Gerald.
are, yeah. And they're happily spending because they're earning well. At the same time, cost of living is very high. I mean, they can't buy a bungalow house or a,
Yes.
they have to start off with a 3-room HDB. Both husband and wife are working. Even that, which used to be 30,000 or less.
$30,000 for an HDB flat.
Those days. What is it now? 300,000.
Plus then there's the cash over valuation and all of those
Minimum.
other things. So to wrap up then, what are the three main messages
I
that you
think
want
the
people to
message
take away?
is, first of all, you must know yourself when you want to get into investing. You have to invest, you have to save, and you have to invest. You can't just keep your money in the bank, all right? So in order to invest, you need to know yourself. You need to ask yourself, who am I? What can I do? Which sort of investments can I get into? What is my risk appetite? So that's the first part that you need to decide. And then you need to manage your risk, right? So you need to diversify your portfolio. You can't sit on just one or invest on one instrument, but you've got to spread it. And that you can only do as you systematically save, you start investing. Then second part is you need to know how to select these instruments. You need to have knowledge. You need to have investor education. And this is where associations like SIAS and Money Sense, the National Investor Education Program, you need to join. You need to join. You need to ask a lot of questions before you invest